This is going to be a fun week, as I referenced earlier in the show, and part of it is I had a couple gold coins per night. And those of you that have been with us before know, when we have a gold coin, it is the coin, and it always has to be the right price. Otherwise, why not bullion, right? So now we're taking a journey back over 100 years to the circulating gold coin of the early 1900s. Tonight, not a randomness deal. We have a small group of one coin. This one, 1915, and the denomination, that 2.5 Incuse Indian. Look at the price. Yes, these are the same coins, condition and size, that my competition are out there between $8.99 and $9.99. The gold market is very active, very hot. That's due to the fact that we're looking at that 3,300-ish level of recent, right? And it bounces up a little bit, bounces down a little bit, but it's been hovering there for quite some time now. Well, our stance always has been, and it's not a knock to bullion, is there's a number of coins that are very strong collectibles that have a bullion content that are always preferred, right, as a collector. And the question is, where are they and where are the numbers? And that backs up whether what decision you make. And again, those are your decisions, just like they're mine. We look at them on a personal level to figure out what works the best for us. Well, let's talk about this coin, because this is coin number 2, design-wise, in President Theodore Roosevelt's significant coinage change at the early part of the 1900s. In 1907, he hired Augustus St. Gaudens, right? Designed the $20 gold piece, which is now the design on the front of all of our American Eagles for the last 40 years. Also the $10 Indian, which is a beautiful coin, just don't see a lot of them. And then he got sick. And they passed the torch to carry on the idea to Bella Leon Pratt. His idea was, let's go left field. We've never done this before. Instead of making the coin concave, convex, which we normally see in a coin, right? We're going to dig in. So everything you're seeing here on the surface right here is dug into the coin. If you put putty over the top, right, you can pull out and see the design on the other side. There are no raised devices on this coin. Everything, the stars, the word liberty, in this case the eagle, it's all dug into the coin. The surface is flat. They call it an incuse design. We did it for 2 coins, a 2.5 Indian and a $5 Indian. Now this coin was issued, this design was issued from 1908 to 1929. This is the workman's coin. When gold was pulled in 1934, people were scrambling. Banks sent their gold to Europe, which is where a lot of it still is. But most of those were the big coins, the 10s and the 20s. 20 libs, 20 saints, 10 libs, 10 Indians. But the workman coin, the ones that were used in circulation by the average individual that was fortunate enough to have a gold coin, this is it. The $1 gold piece was 1849 to 1889. Then they discontinued it and went back to the 2.5 because we had enough silver in place with the Morgan dollar to replace it with a big silver as a 1 versus a gold 1. Now these coins all date back in denomination to the early part of the U.S. Mint. When we started, we had the quarter eagle, half eagle, full eagle, 2.5, 5, and 10. That was 1795. 1796 is when the 2.5 started. They made the 5 and the 10 first and realized, hey, the actual consumer, the 2.5 would do better for us, more bang for our buck in circulation. So we have this incuse design. Beautiful design. It's the only coin in U.S. history, which is interesting, right? Why wouldn't you take the idea, other than it's a change in how we strike coinage? Everything else has a raised device. Morgan's raised. Lincoln's raised, right? The Buffalo nickel is raised. This is dug in, and the leveling gives you the image. It's actually significantly more work, and that's probably part of it. But Theodore Roosevelt got his wish. our themes, our coins are changing, and this one was the biggest change of all. After this coin, we went to the 1909 Lincoln cent, and all the coins we saw in circulation happened over that next decade. But tonight, look at the price as I started with this one, $599.95 for uncirculated beauties like this. Gorgeous coins. Lost my voice there. All of them tonight dated 1915. Again, we have random deals sometimes. If we have 3 of this, 6 of this, 5 of this, but over the last couple of months, we've been able to accumulate enough of the one coin so that way you know exactly what you're getting. There's no guessing. There's nothing necessary other than wow. And again, versus $8.99 and $9.99, saving hundreds and getting classic US .900 fine gold. Outright gold. Where did it all go is a question we get asked all the time. I wish I had that answer. But when they repealed gold in 1934, we talked earlier about, hey, all the big stuff went overseas, mostly to Europe, the Swiss banks and all that kind of stuff, right? But what happened to the smaller stuff? And a lot of that was, well, the U.S. citizen turned them in, like they were told. And then, are they in Fort Knox, or did they melt them down in the bullion? Good question. Guessing the latter is more probable. So survivors are those that realize that you could actually own gold. You just couldn't own a lot of it. And, well, hung on to a coin like this so we can enjoy it today. Guys, give me a 30-second clock. So the last $2.50 Indian, the last $2.50 gold piece in American history. This is it. Right now we have the American Eagle program. It's a 5, a 10, a 25, and a 50. This is a 2.5. However, the 2.5's weight is not based on anything other than like the 5, 10, and 25 right now is. This is the gold coin that we had in the 1800s, the Liberty design, and this is the last one, the Indian of the early 1900s. Uncirculated, all dating 1915, and tonight the steal is $599.95.